I will start with the kaolin and buzz that in first to make sure there's no clumping. Alright, now we'll go ahead and add in our lye. This is just lye water. And this is just our normal base, our normal olive oil base. So, this is the one we go to the most. Alright, that looks great. We're going to add in actually a little bit of titanium dioxide in water, just to whiten slightly. Going to do some purple, some pink, and some black also. And this is a mix of micas and ultramarines. We're doing a red raspberry or black raspberry scent, so we want kind of some raspberry colors and then also the purples and the blacks. I don't know, that's what I think of when I think of black raspberries. Alright, that's perfect. We'll go ahead and give that a little buzz. And I was going to add the fragrance oil in the beginning, but I did forget, so we'll just go ahead and add it now. Because this one does not move at all. So this is our fragrance oil. It's a black raspberry vanilla. It's great in soap. If you're a beginner and you want to start with something, you know, like you haven't tried one before, this is a great one to start with because it does not accelerate, it does not rise. It doesn't do anything it shouldn't do. Go ahead and buzz that in with our color. There we go. There is our pink. Smells awesome and delicious. Alright. Next one, we are going to do the purple. And this is a mix of ultramarine blue and ultramarine lavender color. That came out beautiful. I love when you can hit a color, you know, right on the nose. Exactly what you were going for. Sometimes I'll mix up colors. It's hard to tell because once they hit the white soap base, they can fade out. You know, they can go lighter, darker. You know, sometimes they, like with purples especially, they'll go gray. So that's no fun. And a little bit more because I don't want it to fade while it does its little soapy magic there in the mold. And that is a beautiful purple color. I am so happy with that. A little bit more. I'm just very afraid it's going to fade out to gray as it's processing, so we'll have to go a little bit over. That should do it. I just do not want a muted gray color. Alright, there we go. Alright, and we're going to add our fragrance in. Now we'll just stick blend the color and the fragrance in all at once. Alright, there's our purple. Now we're going to do some black. And for this we're using activated charcoal. Number one, because it makes a great black color, but also because it's good for your skin. Might not get two out of one, right? And this is just dispersed in water. The other colors were dispersed in oil, which I don't normally do, but I was trying to achieve something different. And I was getting some clumping with the ultramarines when I try to use, I can use glycerin, but then I tend to get glycerin rivers if I do that. So I try water. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, because half the color gets stuck to the bottom of the cup. So we went back to oil again. I don't know. I switch up all the time. I do like using just the water though, but this works. The ones in the oil works just fine. Go ahead and add in our fragrance, the rest of that. And stick blend. I wasn't going for a black. I wanted more of a gray, like the darker side of gray. So that's why we went with this. When I want more of a very dark black, I will use way more charcoal. But that works for me. The white we did not add any fragrance to because we didn't want to. I didn't want it to change the white at all. I added that little bit of titanium dioxide. But sometimes even when they say they're not supposed to discolor, they can a little bit. So we just left that without the fragrance. There's just a little bit in there anyway. It's not going to affect it. The fragrance is all in there. It's just in the colors. So this is our little pouring part that we can either dump in to there. We can pot swirl it, which I think I'm going to do. But we have our pink, still nice and loose, but it's getting thicker. So I'm going to pot swirl it into this bucket and then just pour it into the mold. Here's the purple. See, it's not supposed to accelerate at all, and it's not really accelerating, but it did thicken this up quite a bit. So, alrighty, let's get this rocking and rolling before I have a mess on my hands. So we'll start with our pink. And we're actually going to do this in a few layers since there wasn't much white in the bucket. Put some purple in now. Hold on one second. I'm making a mess all over my hands here. I gotta clean up for a second. Okay. So now we'll put some purple down on top of that pink. Actually, next to it. And just a touch on the tops of each of those. We're just going to swirl it around so it doesn't matter too much, but I don't want it to all just be pink on the bottom and, you know, each color has a level, because that's not what I'm going for here. And this one, now that our bucket's filling up, I'll go ahead and drop in some black in some different spots. I am high pouring so that it will break between all the levels. And now we'll add the rest of this pink in. Man, I am loving that purple color. Hard in my hands. And we will save the rest of that for the top. Top. And finally the black, which is weirdly enough, well, you know what, I added extra water in this. I was going to say it's staying very loose, but I did add water to blend this, so that does make sense. Okay, now we'll take our spatula and we're going to run it through once around, couple times through the middle, and we're done. Otherwise it will muddy up and it'll just be a big old mess. Alright, move these out of the way. We have our mold here, and we will just go ahead and start pouring. Alright, all cleaned up. I'm going to go smack this down. I'll be right back. Alright. Here is our soap. And now we're just going to do the top up, which already has quite a bit of black, so I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this black because I'd rather showcase the purple and the pink on top. Alrighty, now our pink. Yeah, you'll notice my house is very quiet today. Dad's got the little one outside. He went for a walk. And the older three are with Grandma today. And they went to go see Monsters Incorporated, the second one. So, then they all called me, "Aren't you coming?" I said, "Well, you know what? When it hits the dollar theater, I'll go." But I couldn't really pass up an opportunity to soap in peace. It doesn't happen very often. So, alright, and now for our awesome purple color. This came out so beautiful. And this was a mixture, like I said, of the ultramarine blue and the ultramarine lavender color. Usually people, to get a nice purple, will tell you to do violet. I like the lavender color. But to each his own. If you like the, violet, by all means use the violet one. I think that's kind of when I'm adding the blue, it does give more of that violet color to it anyway, so. But then I can control how bluish purple I go or how more light purple I stay. I like being in control of that stuff. Alright, I'll just put a little here. Alright. I got out my little skewer somewhere. Here it is. And we'll just go ahead. I'm going to clean this up real fast. We'll just tamp this down a little. I'll be right back. I just want to flatten it out a little. There we go. And now, just to swirl it. Alright guys, there you have it. This is our black raspberry vanilla remake. A little bit different colors. We used clays in the last one. But other than that, same basic coloring scheme here, but in a smaller guest size mold. And we will post some pictures or maybe a cutting video, depending on what I have time for, of this soap when it's completed. Alright, thank you so much. Talk to you later guys. Bye!